The world is crumbling into chaos, and as everyone just lies around waiting for it to happen, pretending nothing is going on. I may see dead people, but I also see a lot of idiots out in the world. Everyone just sits around waiting for something to be done. But there's a problem. When everyone just sits around and lies and waits, nothing ever gets done. The idiots running the world, the idiots tearing it apart, will drive us into chaos. That's the way I see it. Just give it time. You all see for yourself that history is about...
Hey, welcome guys, welcome. Alright, I had to cut the intro a little bit short because we have a very special episode today. I wanted to share this opportunity with you guys. I am very excited for what this entails, for what this opportunity can bring to me, to you, to your friends, to your family. Come on. Alright. So today is May 20th, 2015. I am pleased to announce, I'm pretty sure I talked about this on previous episodes, but now I'm extending this offer out to you. I have partnered with a travel company called Go Ahead Tours to put together a trip to Europe in March of 2016. I wanted to take this episode as an opportunity to discuss the itinerary, everything we would be doing, everything this company offers, everything about this trip, prices, insurance, activities, all sorts of fun little things we can do to help make this trip one you will never forget. Alright, my name is Dakota France, and we have got to get this show on the road, people. Alright. As some of you may know who have listened to my previous episodes, you know that at the end of March I had just gotten back from a trip to China, of all places. I visited Beijing, Xi'an, Shanghai. I met some absolutely amazing people, seen some absolutely amazing sights. And despite a bit of food poisoning that landed us in the hospital, it is a trip I shall never forget, and I am forever grateful for, and it has also been helping influence some of my work in the paranormal and with my books. And I hope this very trip does the exact same thing. So, you interested in going to Europe? Alright, I'm glad to hear it. Please feel free to take this time to learn, take some notes about this trip. First off, where in Europe are we going? This trip promises a few days in Paris and Rome, and if you're feeling a little more adventurous, guess what? We can stop by Athens. And while we're over here, we'll have time to enjoy dinner in Paris. When we get there, we'll be able to visit Notre Dame Cathedral. We're gonna visit, also, of course, see the Eiffel Tower. That's just a given. And if you feel like having a little bit more fun, day 4 of the trip, we have 2 optional excursions. This entire trip's filled with plenty of optional side trips that you are welcome to take. It just costs a little extra money. I will cover the cost here soon. We will be able to visit the Palace and Gardens of Versailles. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And if you feel like turning this trip into something romantic, there is an optional excursion called an evening in Paris. It is a dinner and river cruise. Ooh, I'm so tempted to take this one up myself. Here's what we will do. We will start at a dinner at a nice local restaurant, And after dinner we would board a cruise ship along the sea and river, and we will coast along the river, and we'll be able to check out Paris at nighttime, the city of lights, a romantic place. Oh, it's so romantic. My heart skips a beat. You know. All right. Of course, there are many stops along this trip. We'll have dress codes, which our tour guide will inform us of. Then day 5, after a wondrous night in Paris, we will visit Rome, where we will have a free afternoon. But if you want to, there is an option for dinner with tenors. And at the end of the day, we will have a 4-course meal at a favorite Roman restaurant of go-ahead tours. And we will enjoy some opera, and you get the chance to sing along. Oh, this sounds so much fun. Oh, I'm getting so excited just listening to this. Of course, we visit the Colombian Venezuela, the internal city central hub. We will stop by the Forum. We will visit the Ark of Constantine and the Temple of Venus in Roma. We of course go see the Colosseum. We have the option to visit the Papalisca of St. Paul and the Catacombs of Rome. And of course, hello, our final day in Rome. And we have dinner to say goodbye and leave the country and come back to our own home. Oh, that makes me so sad. There's an option to visit Vatican City. Oh, that'd be something worth seeing, you know, whether or not you're religious. This is an awesome opportunity, you guys. Alright, then if we go home the next day, or we have the options of visiting Athens, Greece. Of what we do. Okay, here is what our tour includes. We have 6 nights in hand-picked hotels. This company does an amazing job of making sure restaurants, tourist attractions, hotels are some of the best in quality at the lowest possible price. I've traveled through these guys on a student tour through one of their partner companies, and my God, the hotels we had in China were so beautiful, and this company actually promises even higher quality. And also, this trip, it also includes some awesome stuff. We have a daily breakfast, and there's only 2 of the nights includes dinner, which would be number 1 when we arrive, and number 2 the day we leave. This is so that we can have a chance to make the evenings our own. Lunches we would have to provide for ourselves, which we will take usually about an hour out of the day. We will also have a tour guide which will join us, and we will also be joined by other tour guides in the cities we visit. And these tour guides, I am amazed at their professionalism, how much they actually just care about the people they travel with, because our tour guides, they were so amazing. When my group had to go to a hospital in Xi'an, they helped us out so much through the whole mess. And just basically get the hell out of there is what we loved. In fact, I tipped our main tour guide almost double what I was supposed to, because I was that thankful. Throughout this entire trip, we will also have our own private buses, and we will also be able to have sightseeing, and this will also cover entrance fees. Now, of course, this all affects the price greatly. Now, there are a few options to actually make this tour a little cheaper, which I will go through later. Now, I also want to cover this. I'm pretty sure some of you may be curious as if there is anything that would help us in the event something goes south. There is. This company offers a completely optional insurance policy which will help cover lost baggage, sickness and accidents, those sorts of things, anything that can really go wrong on this trip. They cover all of that, and truthfully, it's meant as to be a bit of a backup insurance policy in case your own insurance doesn't quite cover everything here. Because let's say some of us get sick in Rome, there has to be a special, let's say, condition for Italian hospitals because of the way they work, because it's a flat fee no matter what the reason is that you're in the hospital. Yeah, trust me, in a lot of countries, hospitals are a lot more accommodating than American hospitals, which is pretty sad. But there's also a lot of different other reasons that I don't really want to go into. All right, and honestly, guys, if you think that the insurance was that's nice that they offer it, but I'm not going to need it, you might as well be shooting yourself in your own foot. Trust me, I didn't think I was going to need this insurance when I signed up for China. Sure enough, what happened, and this has been the one thing that helped keep everybody alive. Help keep everybody straight on head. But of course, we can talk about more of that later. Now, the cost of this trip. I will admit, yes, it is a bit pricey, but that is why these trips are arranged the way they are. You see, if you were to book yourself right now as a spot on this trip, your final payment will not be due until January 2nd, the day after New Year's. So you have plenty of time to get enough money into this, so that way you can pay it off in full, and all you have to worry about is making sure you get to the airport. The cost. Alright? The cost is going to be a little different depending on where you're located. This trip is only really available to residents of the United States. I apologize to all my friends and family abroad, but maybe we'll see each other. Okay, here's what it is. The cost. For the tour dates that we have that are picked, which the trip will start on Saturday, March 12th to the following Saturday, March 19th. This is for the main tour itself, not for the Athens extension. For that trip alone, none of the optional excursions, none of that. The trip itself starts at $1,569. Now, with this, once you go to the booking website, which I have included in the link to in the description, it wants you to pick your departure city in which you would fly out. This will also affect your cost. Let's see, for example, I live in Idaho, so I'd be flying out of Boise. That would be another $1,320. This cost will be different depending on what you decide your departure city is. Let's say for example, you hold on. I'm working through the website right now, so I make sure. Let's see. Let's say you decide to fly out of Salt Lake City. Your cost would be about $50 less than my Boise flight. Essentially, what it is that the closer to the East Coast you are, like New York, Boston, that area, the cheaper the flight accommodations are. These are economy seating. It doesn't have a lot of leg room, but I'm 6'9" and close to 350 pounds. I was able to wiggle myself in. You're fine. So you should be okay. Now, this company actually gives you the option to book your own flights. This is perfectly fine. If you want to do this, I don't mind, but personally, I would allow the company to make the flight accommodations because I'm no good at that and I don't want to schedule things too close together to where it makes it almost impossible to get to my flight on time, the next flight on time, because this will be a connecting flight, and the layovers aren't exactly are sorry. Now we do have almost 2-hour layovers between each flight, and personally, this helps ease the pressure off of everything. You know, I thought it was going to be, that's going to suck. Have to wait a couple hours in the airport. You know what? It wasn't that bad. The wait wasn't that, didn't feel that long. Of course, this was my own blood, my adrenaline rush. Like, oh my God, I'm going to China, going to China. You know, it didn't really feel that long, and this will help us make sure we get to our planes on time. Because it's likely that if everybody selects to fly through the company's accommodations, we will all meet up at the final airport just before we fly out of the country. This way, this will give us a couple hours to get an idea of what everybody fucking looks like. You know, try to get acquainted a little bit before we go. Now, next is the rooming options. Now, this is something I wanted to discuss a little further. The company, as a general safety rule, whether you're a ghost hunter or you're just traveling about, it's always good to be in groups. It's recommended that you be in at least groups of 3, but 2 being okay, 3 being your best bet. Throughout this entire trip, we will stay together as a large group, but occasionally we will break apart. We will discuss, if you decide to come along on this trip, we will discuss the let's say, safety protocols just to make sure we leave the country with everybody we came with. Okay. Now, rooming options. This will give you a chance to, let's say, book your significant other with you on this trip. Now, if you, let's say I was married and I wanted to bring my wife on the trip, I could make it to where we can have both stay in the same room, and it'd be no extra cost for the room. We both stay in the same room. Or if we wanted to stay in separate rooms, it'd be $400 each person for the single room. Now, triple rooms, so on and so forth. I'm trying to keep this quick because we only have half an hour. The link in the description will be able to just show you everything. Now, if you want to travel by yourself and you are willing to take on a roommate during this trip, I have asked the tour company, and we can make arrangements for everybody to have a roommate, so that way we can dock off that extra $400. So all you'd have to do is select a single room, then send me a message saying, "Hey, Dakota, I don't want to really pay that much. I'm cool with being with a roommate." All right, now and I'll say okay, and I'll make the arrangements with the company. Now, the next thing on your booking list, and it has a selection of 5 different tabs you got to go through, is the optional excursions I mentioned: the evening in Paris, the Palace Gardens, the catacombs in Rome. Now, every now and then I get it to where that part of the list glitches out, and it displays it more than once. Just click on any of the optional excursions just once, and you should be okay. Let me know if it does something weird, so that way I can pass it on, so that way we can get that fixed up. You see, right now I'm going through the list myself. I just clicked on the evening in Paris, and it selected all of those. So, all of the options that it repeated. Now, each of these optional excursions will increase the price, but if you book this before 3 days before our final departure, you get $10 off. Plus, if you sign up soon, before the end of May, before May 31st, you can actually get a $75 credit towards these optional excursions. Let's say, like, you want to put it towards Vatican City, which is only $99. That takes off a majority of the cost. So let's say you want to pick the evening in Paris, and let's say for some reason you didn't want to visit the Palace and Gardens, or you didn't want to visit the catacombs in Rome, but you wanted to go see the Vatican City. And see, that'll add a few more. That'll add. Okay, it's glitching out, like I said, to where it's trying to add another $1,000. If it glitches out on you, don't worry about it. Just deselect everything you chose and add it later, because right now it's acting really weird. It's kind of pissing me off a little bit. Now let's say you didn't want to book any optional excursions. That's fine. Now let's say for some reason you wanted to extend your trip. Extend the trip to Athens. That is another $734, which will extend the trip for about 3 days. And there's another optional excursion that is available at that time that will be pulled up. Now let's say you don't want to do that and say, oh no, I'm fine with the 8 days or whatever. And just hit book this tour. The one thing that is required is a $300 deposit, which does go towards the overall cost of the tour. It doesn't count as a separate cost. It is part of the overall cost of the tour. And this will save your spot. There are 34 spots available on this tour. And if we can at least if we can at least get 13 people to sign up through my website that the company put together, we can actually get $250 off the overall cost. Everyone gets that credit. Now, for the sake of booking, if we are only able to get the 13 people, that is completely fine. That is my personal goal, to get people signed up. And being that I'm already signed up on the tour, it's only 12 more people. So you're welcome to bring your friends, family, or whoever. Now, once we actually get over there, there's a good chance we will be partnered with another travel group, which is perfectly okay. This happened when I was in China, and these ended up being some of the nicest people that I really, really, really hope I get to see again. Now, I hope I explained this trip a little bit more. If you want to book yourself, or if you want to see this website for yourself, feel free to click on the link that is in the description. It'll be able to show you everything, all of the options we have available. And I hope to see you soon. I hope I explained this thoroughly. If not, feel free to give me a message on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, wherever you may find me. I'll try to explain everything as best as I can. And if you come up with a question that I am not able to answer about this trip, I will personally pass it along to my main tour guy that is with the company himself, and try to get an answer for you as soon as possible. I really, really, really hope some of you decide to join me and a few friends you haven't met yet on one of this in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to visit Europe. All you would have to do is really get yourself a valid passport and make sure you get yourself to the airport. If you sign up with this trip, I will personally check in with you as we go along to see how everything is going. And I hope to hear from you soon. And I hope you stick around. See you all next time for The Way I See It. This is an amazing opportunity, and I hope you all decide to jump in.